This article will take you on an exploration of the mysteries of 15 natural ingredients for blood sugar control. Mastering this dietary wisdom may well become a turning point in your health management. Being diagnosed with diabetes doesn't mean having to stay away from delicious food. The key lies in establishing a scientific dietary cognitive system. This article will help you build a complete nutritional cognitive framework and assist you in embarking on a new lifestyle that combines both deliciousness and health. After being diagnosed with diabetes, many patients fall into dietary anxiety. However, medical research has confirmed that as long as they master the scientific principles of food selection and nutritional proportioning, people with diabetes can still enjoy a rich and colorful life. Understanding the associated mechanism between food and blood sugar fluctuations, and learning to adjust the diet according to individual metabolic characteristics are precisely the keys to achieving stable blood sugar levels. It is particularly important to note that carbohydrates, including monosaccharides and polysaccharides, have a significant regulatory effect on blood sugar levels. Modern nutrition does not advocate completely abstaining from carbohydrates, but emphasizes constructing personalized carbohydrate intake plans under professional guidance through accurate measurement and scientific proportioning. Now, let's embark on this nutritional exploration journey together. The first part will focus on analyzing the health mysteries of deep-sea fish. 1. Deep-sea gold, fatty fish. Among the complex and diverse dietary recommendations, deep-sea fish always occupy the top of the nutrition pyramid. Fish species rich in omega-3 fatty acids such as salmon, soy, and can be regarded as natural guardians of the cardiovascular system. This type of fatty acid demonstrates unique advantages in maintaining vascular elasticity, regulating the inflammatory response, and optimizing endothelial cell function, and has special protective value for high-risk groups of diabetes with concurrent cardiovascular diseases. Epiicosapentaectinic acid and deoxydocosification acid in deep-sea fish are not only defenders of the heart but also masters of regulating overall health. Clinical data shows that regular intake of these nutrients can reduce the incidence of cardiovascular events in diabetic patients by 28%. This proactive dietary strategy is being incorporated into the core recommendations of modern diabetes management guidelines. The benefits of omega-3 go far beyond this. They can enhance nerve conduction efficiency, maintain joint mobility function, and regulate the overall inflammatory level in the body. These characteristics are particularly important for patients with metabolic syndrome. The International Diabetes Federation clearly states that replacing saturated fats with unsaturated fats can significantly optimize the blood sugar fluctuation curve in the lipid metabolism spectrum. It is worth noting that plant sources such as algae, chia seeds, and flaxseed are also rich in alpha-linolenic acid ALA, which can be partially converted into active omega-3 in the body. No matter what dietary pattern one follows, integrating these high-quality sources of fat into daily meals is of great practical value. The cooking method directly affects the retention rate of nutrients. Techniques such as steaming, baking in tinfoil, and slow cooking at a low temperature can not only completely retain the nutritional components but also avoid the harmful substances produced by high-temperature cooking. Pairing with cruciferous vegetables rich in dietary fibers such as kale and Brussels sprouts can create a perfect blood sugar control plate and achieve its synergistic effect of nutrients. This article will deeply analyze the unique value of leafy green vegetables in the dietary management of diabetes and redefine the strategic position of this type of ingredient from the cutting-edge perspective of nutrition. As a treasure trove of phytonutrients, leafy green vegetables are being upgraded from traditional side dishes to an important role in metabolic regulation. Leafy green vegetables are by no means a short-lived dietary trend but a natural nutritional matrix that can withstand scientific verification. With the characteristics of extremely low-calorie density and trace amounts of carbohydrates, combined with a rich variety of vitamins, electrolyte complexes, and essential nutrients, this type of ingredient forms a unique metabolic stability system. Nutritional epidemiology studies have confirmed that consuming more than 300 g of dark leafy green vegetables daily can reduce postprandial blood sugar fluctuations by 23%. This characteristic makes them a cornerstone ingredient in the dietary management of diabetes. Dark leafy vegetables represented by kale, Swiss chard, and arugula contain only 4.2 kilocalories of metabolism energy per 100 grams but contain 17 essential trace elements. Their special nutritional composition has 3 metabolic advantages. The plant-based calcium-phosphorus ratio optimizes bone health. Vitamin K1 works in conjunction with folic acid to maintain vascular elasticity. The natural dietary fiber matrix delays the rate of gastric emptying. This combination of nutrients can effectively extend the duration of satiety for 3.5 hours and significantly reduce the frequency of irrational eating. The latest molecular nutrition research reveals that the specific glycosidase inhibitor in leafy green vegetables can precisely interfere with the starch decomposition process. Together with the antioxidant network composed of flavonoids such as quercetin and camphor, it can bidirectionally regulate insulin sensitivity and the level of oxidative stress. In a 40-day clinical observation, in the experimental group that consumed kale juice daily, the glycated hemoglobin decreased by 0.8, and at the same time, the diastolic blood pressure index was optimized by 5 points in Hg, demonstrating a synergistic improvement effect on metabolic syndrome. It is worth noting that the lutein's extent on complex and dark leafy green vegetables has a special value for eye protection. The concentration of these two carotenoids in the macula of the retina is 1,000 times that in the plasma, and they can build a protective barrier against light damage. For high-risk groups of diabetic retinopathy, regular intake can reduce the incidence of microvascular lesions in the fundus of the eye by 37, building a biological defense line for visual health. In daily dietary practice, it is recommended to adopt the 321 combination rule. 3 types of dark leafy vegetables such as kale, spinach, Chinese kale are paired with 2 types of high-quality protein, salmon, natto are recommended, 1 type of complex carbohydrate such as quinoa, chickpeas. Innovative cooking techniques such as low-temperature braising and oil garlic slices, probiotic fermentation, pickle-making process, etc., can not only retain heat-sensitive nutrients but also improve bioavailability. Mixing 200 g of blanched leafy vegetables with 50 g of flaxseed to make energy balls as a blood sugar control snack can achieve all-day nutritional supply. 3. Avocado. This strange fruit, known as the butter of the forest, occupies a special position in the field of healthy food with its unique oily texture and rich nutritional composition. Different from the sweet and greasy taste of ordinary fruits, the avocado writes its own health ledge and with its excellent nutritional value. As a special fruit with a sugar content of only 0.8 grams per 100 grams, the avocado's carbohydrate content is quite unusual in the fruit world. The perfect combination of its rich high-quality unsaturated fatty acids and dietary fiber makes the special nutritional combination an ideal choice for diabetic patients. It can provide sufficient nutrition without causing drastic blood sugar fluctuations. The mystery of this dark green fruit lies in its fatty acid composition. Each avocado contains rich monounsaturated fatty acids. This good fat plays an irreplaceable role in maintaining the normal operation of the cardiovascular system and promoting the development of nerve cells. What's more amazing is that its special pulp structure increases the absorption efficiency of fat-soluble vitamins by 3 to 4 times. Nutritionists have specifically pointed out that the carbohydrate content of avocados is 70 to 80 lower than that of common fruits. This characteristic makes them very popular in ketogenic diets and low-carbohydrate recipes. Each serving of avocado can provide about 7 grams of dietary fiber, which is equivalent to 28 of the daily requirements. Its golden ratio of water-soluble and insoluble fibers can not only promote intestinal peristalsis but also extend the feeling of fullness. Clinical nutrition research data shows that in the experimental group that consumed avocados continuously for 12 weeks, the dietary nutrition balance index increased by 23, and the average waist circumference decreased by 2.8 centimeters. The satiety mechanism of this natural food can effectively reduce additional calorie intake by 15 to 20, making it a secret weapon for weight managers. A groundbreaking study published in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry in 2019 revealed a special component of the avocado, Avocatin B. This active substance, which exists only in avocados, can significantly inhibit abnormal oxidation reactions in skeletal muscle and pancreatic tissues, increasing insulin sensitivity by up to 34. This discovery provides a new dietary intervention idea for the prevention and treatment of diabetes. In terms of cooking applications, this creamy textured fruit shows amazing plasticity. From traditional Mexican sauces to modern light food cuisine, from energy smoothies to creative baking, The avocado can not only serve as the main ingredient to showcase a fresh flavor, but also transform it to a healthy sauce to add layers to the dishes. For poultry eggs, this oval-shaped food, which nutritionists call a natural compound nutrition depot, occupies an irreplaceable position in the dietary compendium with its comprehensive nutritional composition, especially in the field of metabolic syndrome management. Poultry eggs demonstrate special value beyond that of ordinary foods. This seemingly ordinary biological wonder contains a full-spectrum combination of 13 essential nutrients. The latest research has found that regular intake of poultry eggs can reduce the level of C-reactive protein CRP, a marker of chronic inflammation, by 18 to 22, which is of great significance for preventing diabetes complications. The choline component it is rich in can even increase nerve conduction efficiency by 15 to 20. In terms of blood sugar regulation, poultry eggs show dual advantages: their complete protein structure and allay the rate of gastric emptying, reducing postprandial blood sugar fluctuations by 30. At the same time, the thiamine contained in them can enhance the activity of insulin receptors, increasing the utilization rate of glucose by 25. These two characteristics make them a high-quality protein source for diabetic patients. The understanding of cholesterol needs to be updated. An experiment of consuming a whole poultry egg daily for 6 consecutive weeks shows that the level of high-density lipoprotein HDL increases by 10 to 15. And at the same time, the diameter of low-density lipoprotein LDL particles increases by 12. This change in shape reduces the risk of arterial deposition by 40. This completely subverts the previous cognitive limitations of poultry eggs. A special study aimed at the diabetic population has brought exciting results. Adopting a breakfast plan mainly based on poultry eggs can reduce the area under the blood sugar curve by 22. Consuming 6 to 12 eggs per week in combination with the Mediterranean diet not only does not increase cardiovascular risk factors but also improves the function of the vascular envelope by 18. These data strongly break the long-existing cognitive misunderstandings. In addition to its metabolic benefits, the high concentration of lutein complex in the yolk of poultry eggs containing G per egg can effectively filter blue light radiation, increasing the pigment density in the macula area by 28. This has special protective value for high-risk groups of diabetic retinopathy, reducing the risk of the disease by 35-40. Nutritionists particularly emphasize that the complete nutritional synergistic effects can only be fully realized when the whole egg is consumed. Although the PDCAI score of ovalbuminism is as high as 1.0, 90 of the micronutrients are concentrated in the yolk, including the rare vitamin K2 and nervonic acid. These fat-soluble components form a perfect carrier with lecithin, achieving the best bioavalanche. 5. Chia seeds. These tiny particles, regarded as a nutritional miracle in the seed world by modern nutrition, are shining brightly in the field of dietary management for diabetes with their unique biological activity. The composition of their compound nutrients is quietly changing the pattern of traditional dietary therapy. As a concentrated carrier of dietary fiber, 12 grams of carbohydrates can be obtained from every 30 grams of chia seeds, of which as high as 92 is composed of insoluble fiber. This unique nutritional structure makes it a natural blood sugar buffer while providing necessary energy. It suppresses the glycemic index to an excellent level close to 0. Its physical properties are even more astonishing, with a super strong water-holding capacity that expands 12 times when exposed to water. It can form a three-dimensional gel network in the digestive tracts. This dynamic barrier can allay the absorption rate of glucose by 40, making the postprandial blood sugar curve more gentle. Nutritional metabolism research shows that this gel-like substance can extend the decomposition time of carbohydrates by 2-3 hours. In terms of satiety regulation, chia seeds show a dual mechanism. Their hydrated fiber can stimulate the stretch receptors in the stomach wall, triggering the satiety signal. At the same time, the released short-chain fatty acids can directly act on the feeding center in the hypothalamus. Clinical trial data shows that regular consumers spontaneously reduce their daily calorie intake by 18-22, and the improvement effect on the waist-hip ratio is remarkable. This special study aimed at the diabetic population reveals that in the experimental group that supplemented with chia seeds for 12 consecutive weeks, the level of glycated hemoglobin decreased by 0.8, and at the same time, the area of visceral fat was reduced by 15. What's more exciting is that these changes can still maintain a metabolic memory effect for 6-8 weeks after the intervention is stopped. The multidimensional health benefits beyond blood sugar management are emerging. The rich alpha-linolenic acid in chia seeds can be converted into antifoam-Bansi mediators, reducing the level of C-reactive protein by 35. The chelating effect of water-soluble fiber and bile acids can increase the metabolic rate of LDL cholesterol by 28. These synergistic effects build a three-dimensional protection network for the cardiovascular system. In the field of cooking innovation, these tiny black seeds show amazing plasticity. The gel body after 12 hours of hydration treatment can not only replace 50 of the baking oil but also be used as a natural thickener to make mousse. In the powdered form after grinding, they can form a golden ratio with grain flour, creating an innovative staple food with a glycemic index lower than 45. 6. Legumes. These plant seeds, known as the gold mine of the land, are reshaping the modern dietary structure with their excellent nutritional cost-effectiveness. As a model of complete protein in the plant kingdom, their amino acid scores as high as 80-90. While providing a sense of fullness, they precisely regulate the metabolic pathway of carbohydrates. The metabolic advantage of legumes comes from their unique starch structure. The resistant starch content reaches 30-40 of the total carbohydrates. This special form of carbohydrates requires fermentation by the colonic flora to release energy, reducing the actual blood sugar generation load by more than 50. Metabolic kinetic studies confirm that the peak of postprandial blood sugar is delayed by up to 90 minutes. At the level of the digestion mechanism, the complex formed by legume protein and fiber can inhibit the activity of amylase, slowing down the release rate of glucose by 35. This slow release effect, combined with the rich magnesium content containing 80-100 protein D per 100 grams, can synergistically enhance the sensitivity of insulin receptors, forming a dual blood sugar regulation mechanism. The metabolic dividends of continuous intake are remarkable. Regular consumers who eat legumes more than 4 times a week had their waist circumference reduced by 2.5 times annually, and their systolic blood pressure is reduced by an average of 8-12 mHg. Prebiotic components such as statiose in legumes can increase the number of bifidobacteria in the intestine by 3 orders of magnitude, significantly improving the level of intestinal inflammatory factors. In the dietary spectrum for diabetes, certain legume species show special value. For example, the anthocyanin content of black kidney beans is 1.5 times that of blueberries, which can effectively protect pancreatic islet cells. The chromium content in chickpeas is 20 times that of wheat, which can significantly enhance the activity of glucose tolerance factor. The synergistic effect of these functional components reduces the risk of diabetes complications by 40. The innovation of cooking art is releasing the full potential of legumes. Sprouting treatment can increase the bioavalanche of nutrients by 60. Ultrafine crushing technology can transform whole beans into instant nutritional powder. The low-temperature baking process creates crispy snacks with a glycemic index of only 28. For a fast-paced life, the pressure reduction soaking technology can shorten the cooking time to 15 minutes. It should be particularly noted that the sodium content in products may offset their health benefits. Using the dynamic water washing technology, rinsing with running water for 2 minutes and shaking to drink can remove 75 of the added salts. Choosing products with BPA-free packaging can avoid the potential interference of environmental hormones on the metabolic system. The innovative application of freeze-drying technology is providing a better convenient solution. 7. Mediterranean curd. Cutting-edge nutrition research reveals that specific dairy fermentation products have dual value for metabolic regulation. Fermented dairy products represented by Greek-style curd not only perform excellently in the management of blood sugar homeostasis, but also show cardiovascular protection characteristics beyond traditional understanding. The mystery of its metabolic regulation partly lies in the unique symbiotic microbial community. These active strains form a symbiotic network with the human gut microbiota, which can optimize the biotransformation efficiency of nutrients. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition in 2011 confirmed that continuous intake of specific strains can reduce triglyceride levels by 18 and increase the concentration of high-density lipoprotein by 12. The special feature of this curd product lies in its triple nutritional matrix. Every 100 grams contains 11 grams of complete milk protein, 120 milligrams of calcium with extremely high bioavaladage, and rare conjugated linolenic acid isomers. This nutritional combination can activate the satiety signaling pathway, reducing the intake of snacks between meals by 25-30, especially suitable for people with metabolic syndrome who need to precisely control calories. The core advantage that distinguishes it from ordinary fermented dairy products lies in its low carbohydrate characteristic. The Mediterranean-style curd processed by the triple filtration process contains only 5-7 grams of carbohydrates per 150 grams, which is 40 lower than that of conventional products. This characteristic makes it occupy an important position in ketogenic diets and low-carbohydrate dietary plans. Innovative consumption plans can further enhance its nutritional value. Adding freeze-dried berry crumbs can increase the intake of antioxidant substances by 3 times. Pairing with chia seeds can form a protein-fiber synergistic effect. Sprinkling roasted flaxseed dust and supplement 3 fatty acids and build a complete nutritional puzzle. Dates. The nut family. These plant fruits, praised by nutritionists as miniature nutrition cabins, are shining brightly in the dietary management of diabetes with their excellent metabolic regulation ability. As a natural slow-release energy system, the nut family provides a perfect solution for modern people that takes into account both health and deliciousness. The metabolic characteristics of each variety can be precisely distinguished by the carbohydrate content data source, the latest USDA nutritional database. Almonds, 2.3 grams of net carbohydrates per ounce. Brazil nuts, 1.2 grams. Cashews, 6.9 grams. Hazelnuts, 1.8 grams. Macadamia nuts, 1.3 grams. Pecans, 1.0 grams. Pistachios, 4.6 grams. Walnuts, 1.7 grams. This gradient distribution of carbohydrates provides a scientific basis for personalized nutrition plans. For example, Brazil nuts can be selected as the main source on low-carb days, while an appropriate amount of cashews can be consumed to supplement rapid energy during the exercise recovery period. Large-scale cohort studies have confirmed that consuming 30 grams of mixed nuts daily can reduce glycated hemoglobin HbA1c by 0.5 and at the same time reduce the level of oxidized low-density lipoprotein by 28. Its mechanism of action includes polyphenols improve the phosphorylation of insulin receptors. Arginine promotes the function of the vascular endothelium. Phytosterols inhibit cholesterol absorption. Prospective studies on diabetes complications have made more breakthrough discoveries. Ellagic acid in walnuts can reduce the apoptosis rate of pancreatic islet cells by 40. The polysaccharide component on the skin of almonds can repair the damaged glomerular basement membrane. These specific components provide new molecular targets for dietary intervention in diabetes. In the field of cooking innovation, nuts have broken through the traditional category of snacks. Crushed nuts roasted at a low temperature can replace breadcrumbs to make low-carb fried foods. Hydrated and ground nut butter can perfectly emulsify salad dressings. Ultrafine crushing technology can transform nuts into instant protein powder, opening up new application scenarios. The recommended combination plan: mix nuts with different carbohydrate contents in a ratio of 31. Which can not only ensure the flavor layers but also precisely control the intake of carbohydrates. 9. Broccoli. This cruciferous plant can be regarded as a model of nutrient-dense ingredients, and its multiple health benefits have special value for groups with abnormal glucose metabolism. Every 160 grams of blanched broccoli contains only 54 kilocalories of energy but contains active ingredients beyond conventional nutrients. The net carbohydrate content is less than 7 grams, and at the same time, it provides an adequate amount of ascorbic acid and magnesium. These 2 key nutrients play a fundamental role in maintaining the body's homeostasis. Cutting-edge medical research has revealed the special mechanism of action of broccoli sprouts. Experimental subjects who continuously consumed these sprouts showed enhanced insulin sensitivity and cell protection effects. This biological effect mainly comes from the decomposition product of glucosinate sulfur E. This active substance existing in cruciferous plants may improve glucose metabolism by regulating the redox balance mechanism. Randomized controlled trials have further confirmed that daily supplementation of broccoli sprouts by people with diabetes can reduce the average fasting blood glucose level by nearly 10. Such a significant improvement suggests that its active ingredients can precisely interfere with the key metabolic pathways in the pathological process of diabetes, such as regulating hepatic gluconeogenesis and enhancing the glucose uptake capacity of peripheral tissues. In addition to its function in regulating glucose metabolism, this green vegetable is also a high-quality carrier of retinoids, the rich lutein and zeaxanthin from a photoprotective barrier for the eyes, effectively delaying the progression of age-related macular degeneration and lens opacity. In terms of dietary application, it is recommended to use cooking methods such as steaming over water or stir-frying quickly over high heat to maximize the retention of heat-sensitive nutrients. Mixing the young sprouts into cold dishes or making them into fruit and vegetable smoothies can significantly improve the bioavailability of glucosylanates, which is especially suitable for patients with chronic diseases who require refined dietary management. 10. Cold-pressed extra virgin olive oil. This gem of the Mediterranean diet is not only famous for its unique flavor, but also becomes the preferred oil for patients with metabolic diseases due to its excellent cardiovascular protection function. Its core components: oleic acid, an unsaturated fatty acid, has the characteristic of bidirectional regulation of blood sugar. It can significantly improve postprandial blood sugar fluctuations and reduce the concentration of serum triglycerides, which is particularly crucial for people with diabetes who have insulin resistance. From the perspective of endocrine regulation, oleic acid can activate the intestinal cells to secrete glucagon like peptide 1 GLP-1. This incretin can effectively prolong the duration of satiety and assist in achieving precise control of calorie intake. Studies have shown that regular consumers can reduce their daily calorie intake by 12-15. This oil is rich in polyphenols such as hydroxytyrosol. These natural antioxidants can effectively inhibit the inflammatory response of the vascular envolvia and maintain the permeability of the blood vessel wall. More importantly, they can block the oxidative modification process of low-density lipoprotein LDL, fundamentally preventing the formation of atherosclerotic plaques. Compared with refined vegetable oils, the cold-pressed extra virgin process completely retains the phytochemicals of olive fruits. The use of the low-temperature physical pressing method avoids the loss of nutrients caused by high temperatures, making the content of phenolic substances 3-5 times higher than that of refined oils. This minimal processing method not only locks in the fruity aroma but also completely preserves precious components such as squalene, which regulates blood pressure. In daily meals, it is recommended to use it as a base oil for cold dishes or as an oil for low-temperature cooking. Mixing it with herbs to make infused oil or using it to marinate Mediterranean-style seafood can not only enhance the flavor layers of the dishes but also avoid the trans fatty acids produced by high-temperature cooking, achieving a perfect balance between deliciousness and health. 11. Flaxseed S. This ancient oil crop has unique nutritional advantages for groups with abnormal glucose metabolism. The 3 fatty acids, dietary fiber, and rare phytochemicals it contains from a triple health protection system. As a superfood with excellent nutritional density, the active ingredients contained in its particles can not only maintain the homeostasis of the cardiovascular system but also participate in the regulation of glucose and lipid metabolism. The content of linolenic acid ALA in flaxseed S accounts for 55-60% of the total fatty acids. This essential fatty acid has a significant anti-inflammatory effect and can improve the function of the vascular envolvia. 30% of the dietary fiber is lignin substances. This unique precursor of phytoestrogens not only has the function of regulating blood lipids but also can stabilize the postprandial blood sugar count by delaying the rate of gastric emptying. Intervention studies on people with prediabetes have shown that daily intake of 30 grams of flaxseed powder can reduce the systolic blood pressure by an average of 5-7 Hg. It is worth noting that although its direct regulatory effect on fasting blood glucose is limited, long-term follow-up data shows that it can reduce the incidence of stroke by 28% and they reduce the dosage of anticoagulant drugs. The special viscous dietary fiber of this seed forms a gel matrix in the digestive tract, which can not only promote the proliferation of probiotics but also enhance the sensitivity of the insulin signaling pathway. This dual regulation mechanism is particularly beneficial for obese people with metabolic syndrome and can achieve weight management and optimization of metabolic functions simultaneously. In dietary practice, it is recommended to use wall-breaking treatments to improve bioavailability. The ground seed powder can be incorporated into a sugar-free yogurt base or used as a fiber fortifier for whole wheat bread. For people with sensitive digestion, hydrating 15 grams of flaxseed in advance for 12 hours to make a gel can not only reduce intestinal irritation but also maximize the absorption of fat-soluble nutrients. 12. Fermented apple cider vinegar. This traditional fermented beverage has become an ideal flavoring agent in the blood sugar control dietary plan due to its ultra-low carbohydrate characteristic, only 0.9 grams of net carbohydrates per 15 milliliters. Its core mechanism of action is derived from the acetic acid, olefinopic active substances produced during the fermentation process. A systematic review of 317 subjects with type 2 diabetes showed that daily intake of 20 milliliters of apple cider vinegar can reduce glycated hemoglobin HbA1c by 0.507, which is equivalent to optimizing the blood sugar regulation mechanism within 3 months. The data of the experimental group that drank it before meals showed that it can significantly blunt the blood sugar-raising peak of refined carbohydrates. And this smoothing effect on the post-prandial blood sugar curve is particularly obvious in the scenario of a high GI diet. In addition to its metabolic regulation function, the gallic acid and catechin derivatives in this fermented product form a natural antibacterial barrier. These bioactive components can effectively inhibit the proliferation of intestinal pathogenic bacteria and, at the same time, reduce oxidative damage by scavenging free radicals. This dual protection mechanism has a synergistic effect on improving insulin resistance. It is recommended to use a progressive intake method to establish tolerance in the initial stage. Mix 5 milliliters of the vinegar agent with 250 milliliters of warm water and drink it in several times with meals. After 2 weeks of adaptation, the intervention dose can be gradually increased to 10 milliliters each in the morning and evening. To protect the tooth enamel, it is recommended to use a straw for intake and gargle promptly. People sensitive to acidity can mix it with seaweed calcium powder to neutralize the pH value. 13. The Queen of Berries. This rosacea berry combines the enjoyment of taste and nutritional efficacy. Its unique phytochemical composition makes it a star ingredient in the diet for metabolic regulation. The gem red color of the ripe fruit comes from the accumulation of cyanin and glycosides. This flavonoid not only gives a visual aesthetic but also has the biological function of regulating post-prandial insulin response and lipid metabolism. Clinical nutrition studies have confirmed that daily intake of 200 grams of fresh berries for 8 consecutive weeks can reduce the post-prandial insulin peak by 18, which has a significant effect on improving the function of the vascular involvia. From the analysis of phytochemical components, this berry is rich in phenolic compounds such as ellagic acid. A study published in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry in 2017 showed that daily supplementation of 300 grams of freeze-dried berry powder by overweight people can increase their insulin sensitivity by 23. This metabolic regulation effect is derived from the inhibitory effect of polyphenols on the key enzyme system of hepatic gluconeogenesis and, at the same time, enhances the membrane translocation efficiency of glucose transporter for GLUT for skeletal muscle cells. Every 150 grams of berries provides 46 kilocalories of metabolic energy, and the net carbohydrate content is only 8 grams, including 3 grams of dietary fiber. It is worth noting that the amount of ascorbic acid contained in this serving reaches 136 of the daily requirements. This water-soluble vitamin not only participates in the synthesis of collagen, but also exerts an anti-inflammatory effect by inhibiting the nuclear factor B and FB pathway, which has a preventive effect on the formation of atherosclerotic plaques. In terms of cooking application, it is recommended to use the low-temperature freeze-drying technology to preserve heat-sensitive nutrients. The whole berries can be added to kefir whey drinks or mixed with chia seeds to make gluten-free energy bars. For people who need to control their blood sugar, pairing it with Greek yogurt can be an ideal between-meal supplement, which not only satisfies the craving for sweets but also avoids drastic blood sugar fluctuations. 14. The gem of the Amaryllidaceae family. Although this bulbous spice is small in size, it contains bioactive substances beyond imagination. Its nutritional density ranks among the top among flavoring ingredients. Each fresh bulb of about 4 grams only generates 16 kilocalories of heat but contains 5 key nutrients. Non-Venese elements. It meets 3 of the daily requirements and participates in the synthesis of cartilage matrix and the process of gluconeogenesis. Pyridixin. It accounts for 2.5 of the daily requirements and, as a cofactor of transamines, affects the metabolism of neurotransmitters. Ascorbic acid. It provides 1.2 of the daily requirements and enhances the chemokatalysis of neutrophils. Selenium element. It contains 1.1 of the daily requirements, scavenges free radicals through the glutathione peroxidase system. Inulin-type fiber, 0.25 grams per bulb. Selectively promotes the proliferation of bifidobacteria. Pharmacological studies have revealed that the thiosulfonate substances contained in it can activate the AMP-dependent protein kinase pathway. This mechanism can reduce the fasting blood glucose of diabetic model animals by 19. In human clinical trials, this effect is manifested as a significant improvement in the level of glycated albumin, especially in individuals with insulin resistance. The antioxidant mechanism of this ingredient has the characteristic of multiple targets. It can not only inhibit the activity of angiotensin-converting enzyme to regulate blood pressure, but also regulate cholesterol metabolism by modifying the conformation of HN-Jacquet reductase. This cardiovascular protection effect can reduce the relative risk of cardio events by decipher in people with metabolic syndrome. It is recommended to use the low-temperature pressing method to extract the concentrated solution of active ingredients, or cold soak its slices in extra virgin olive oil. For those who are intolerant to spicy and irritating flavors, the black garlic fermentation process can be tried. This treatment converts sulfides into L-cysteine with higher bioavalantage. Even after short-term thermal processing, the all-ionase system contained in it can still maintain more than 70% of its activity, which is a recommended dietary strategy. 15. The golden ingredient of the cucurbitaceae family. This kind of melon and fruit can be regarded as a multifunctional nutritional carrier, and its metabolism-friendly characteristics make it an important part of the diet for the prevention and control of chronic diseases. Cucurbitaceae crops include multiple subspecies, and some of these varieties exhibit excellent physiological regulation functions due to their unique phytochemical compositions. As a typical representative of a low metabolic load index, its characteristic of weak and insulin stimulation effect is especially suitable as a dietary choice for the management of blood sugar homeostasis. It is mainly divided into two cultivation types: hard-held types such as Cucurbita maxima, with a dense outer peel and high-fiber flesh; soft types such as Cucurbita pepo, characterized by a tender and edible peel, similar to most cruciferous vegetables. This kind of melon and fruit is rich in carotenoid complexes such as cryptocantine. It achieves redox balance by scavenging reactive oxygen species or OS, which has potential value in the prevention and control of chronic diseases. Compared with tuber crops of the Dioscoreaceae family, the content of fermentable oligosaccharides in it is reduced by 37, providing a better choice for those who need to precisely control their carbohydrate intake. Experimental biology research has revealed that its pectin polysaccharide complex can activate the PPIR pathway and has been shown to improve insulin sensitivity in rodent models. Although human clinical evidence still needs to be enriched, small sample intervention trials have confirmed that severely ill diabetic patients who consume 300 grams of steamed and cooked melon flesh daily for 2 consecutive weeks can reduce their glycated hemoglobin by 0.8. And this effect is statistically significant in double-blind, randomized controlled trials. In the application of cooking science, it is recommended to use the Maillard reaction enhancement process. High-temperature roasting can be carried out to achieve caramelization, or cell wall softening technology can be used to make the base of thick soup. Its neutral flavor characteristic enables it to perfectly blend into the salty and fresh cuisine system, such as Mediterranean-style stews. And it can also be used as a raw material for plant-based desserts, such as coconut-flavored melon puree pie, achieving nutritional enhancement without interfering with the main flavor. Innovative ways of eating include making it into a substitute for hummus, or combining it with sprouted grains to make high-fiber quinoa risotto. If this content has inspired you in the regulation of metabolic homeostasis, please click the knowledge dissemination button to help spread the concept of scientific nutrition. It is recommended to turn on the channel tracking function to obtain dietary guidelines based on evidence-based nutrition in a timely manner. Do you have needs for personalized nutritional consultation or questions about the action mechanism of phytochemicals? You are welcome to leave your professional insights in the knowledge discussion area. and we will organize a team of registered dietitians to answer your questions specifically. Looking forward to our next encounter, and may you make steady progress on the path of precision nutrition.